kind of weird. I don't know. Let me see. It looks like we are live. Well, that was the fastest connection ever. So let me make sure all the things are working. Making sure chat is enabled. Oop, that is not the button I needed to click. Here we go. Come on. Okay, why are you being weird? There we go. Everything's being weird. It looks like we're going to get a storm in here tomorrow, which is kind of crazy because when I woke up this morning, our temperatures were like in the 40s, which is crazy. And tomorrow is the first day of summer officially. So it is not feeling like summer, which I'm thrilled with. I'm not a heat lover by any means. But let me just make sure everything is on. So YouTube is live. Facebook, are you live there? Let's refresh the page and then we can get started. Okay, we are live on both. So if this is your first time joining, hi, my name is Kat. I am owner of Kat's Creations and More, not and, just in, but it represents and. And I'm welcoming you to my design studio where today we're doing sunflowers because I had thought I was going to do sunflowers on Tuesday, came out, did all the prep, had everything ready, but I was missing sunflowers. And then subsequently later in that day in the delivery, sunflowers showed up. So we're doing sunflowers today on a grapevine, which is nice because I have some bright, they kind of trend between royal blue and navy blue peonies with bright yellow centers. So those two together, definite French country palette, but not sure about the sign. I do have a sign picked out if we want to add a sign. And I think I'm trying to make that an option because there are some people who like the signs and then there's some people who don't like the signs. So we're going to give you an option. You can add the sign or no sign, and that's that. So if you want to save a copy of this tutorial, super simple, just go ahead and click the save button if you are on YouTube, and that'll go ahead and save a copy of this tutorial so you'll have it available when you're ready to put together your own. Also, if you are on Facebook, it's a little different. You have to click the share button, and share does a copy paste from my Facebook page to your Facebook page, and then remember, download it to your computer before Facebook deletes it. Every 30 days they purge any video content, but remember you can always come back to my channel. It is at youtube.com/the little A with the circle around it, and Kat's Creations and More. That's my channel on YouTube. And if you want to get notified when I go live and you're on YouTube, click that subscription bell, subscribe to my channel. You can also sign up to my private group through my YouTube channel. So that is an option that you have available to you, something new. And then if you're on Facebook and you want to get notified when I go live, make sure you have liked the page and are following the page. You have to do both. It won't work if you have one or the other. You need both. So the follow button is under the 3 dots next to the right of the blue button. Click on that. It'll open up a short little menu. Just make sure your turn notifications indicator is on, and then you're all good. So I am going to enable chat so I can see chat for both groups. Okay, where are you? Sometimes. There's chat. So hi, Georgiana. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Anna. Are you not getting any sound? Can you guys give me a thumbs up if we've got good sound? I just don't want, I want to double check that. Because I know I have my, can you hear me now? Let's see. I just want to double check before I get too far into this. Let me double check here. So I can see it like you guys are. Hang on a second. Can you guys give me a sound check? Thumbs up. Just lets me know good sound. Everything's going good on our end. Okay, I am getting sound. So I'm good there. On YouTube, I had my my personal microphone turned down so I don't get the feedback. So Cynthia, just make sure that your little speaker icon is unchecked, so you should be able to hear the sound. So there's that. That's what I was gonna do. Really, Georgiana? She said they have 14-inch rings at my Dollar Tree. Did they just get those in? Because I have been checking on Dollar Tree's website, and Dollar Tree's website still is not function. So let me look real quick. Let's see if that changed. Let me look. So they're only available in the stores still. You cannot order them online, which it's gone way over a month. So it appears, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're just distributing to the stores and that's all you're going to get, which is really odd for Dollar Tree to not allow people to shop from the website. Because that's kind of what you need to do in the online age. You need to make sure that product is available because not everybody has access to a Dollar Tree store. So chat is enabled. We're going to go ahead and get started, making sure I can see them all. Okay, Georgiana says yes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pivot you down. We're going to go ahead and get started. It should go, I always say this too, it should go relatively quick. And sometimes it doesn't. So let me square you up. I think we're good there. You should be able to see everything. 18-inch grapevine. My favorite source for grapevines right now is Hobby Lobby. You can order them online or you can go into the store. I prefer to go into the store because I'm pretty picky on what I like in my grapevines. Grapevine has been cleaned. If you need a tutorial on how to clean your grapevine, after this is done, you can go ahead and search in the YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and type in how to clean a grapevine, and I walk you through all the things. And my favorite tools, which is a butter knife, a screwdriver, and a pair of pliers. That's all I use to clean out my grapevines. Oh, and wire cutters to cut the bigger branches. So that being said, we are going to go ahead and green the base first. I have my glue skillet here, which is off to the side. I moved the camera angle over so we have a bigger workspace, which makes me happy because I usually focus on this dark square in the center to make sure I'm centered. Glue gun is on. I have binding wire out. So I'm going to green the base first, and then I think we're going to add the bow. Hey, Cheryl. Happy to see you. Elizabeth says, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. So greening, what are we using? Where did I put it? Oh, we are using some fern, and we're going to be using some boxwood. So this fern is from Greenery Market. Now, I did do some price comparisons on the Greenery, and right now what I'm seeing is Michael's has a better deal because I think Michael's has 50% off their Greenery. So I was seeing like Boston fern and some of the other fern that I had used in the design that is on the door behind me, and it was like $1.99 a stem, and there was a lot of different, like on this one there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5, 6, 6. There's 6 little ferns that are on this particular pick. It is not a push-up pick. Each of them are individually stationary at their mark. However, what you want to do is make sure that all of your greenery is facing in the right direction, which means we want the leaf patterns on top. We don't want to see the leaf backs before we go ahead and add those. And I'm going to start up here at the top, and in the center is the only one that allows me to really move it. Everything else is pretty much flexible. So I'm going to go ahead and dip this in. And I'm going to go ahead and slide this in. Now, because I've got that big branch in the way, and I want to do a super secure, making sure that it stays where it's supposed to be. Let's take it from the other end. Binding wire is nothing more than paper wrapped wire, which is great. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to pull this under so that, and I don't need a very big piece. I like to just use little sections of it. Twist it a couple times. Go ahead and take that off. Tucked it down, and you won't be able to see it on the grapevine. So the brown is great for grapevines, and I think they have green, which would work for evergreens, or if you were greening up your base and had a lot of greenery on here that are turned to the back. So I want to make sure that I have all of my fronts facing up. So far so good. We're going to do this one here at the bottom, following that path. And I want to take this one just a touch longer. I'm going for a longer look on the bottom than on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and use the leftover piece of my binding wire to secure this central piece again to that main branch. That's some of the downsides about working with the grapevines, is that, you know, it's hard for us to get florals to either slide under and look good, considering I wanted it up here, so I don't want to slide because I can't get all these individual little pieces to kind of fall in line. And then I noticed that if anything ever comes loose off the stem, rather than just, you know, push it back on, I glue it, because it never fails. Once it comes off, it has a tendency to keep coming off. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to lay that one in a little bit bigger. See, here's the difference. I can't go underneath this, but I definitely need that up. So we're going to do the same thing. Bring it down just a little bit. And then we'll take our binding wire. And I'm just going to go right underneath that big branch. And I'm going to grab that center so that everything else is free moving. And this is still that same piece of wire that I pulled from the beginning. I just give myself a pretty big piece to work with while I'm laying greenery in. And then we can go ahead and fan everything else out. And then I'm going to come in here with this one. We're going to bring our bow down a little lower, so it's going to kind of sit a little bit at the corner. So I'm going to come in here with this. And then, of course, cleaning out our grapevine just gives us the ability to not have any restrictions when we are going in. I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. It's kind of like threading the needle. And we'll grab the center one again. Just a little piece is all you need to keep it secure. And then it's not going to slide around or disappear. Okay, so there we have it. Nice and smooth. Hi Joyce, how are you? Okay, so now we are going to, I'm going to add my bow now so that when I come in, I kind of know where my limitations are. So we are doing a royal blue and a bright yellow. So kind of like summer to fall transition is where I'm going. We are going to take a 2.5 inch sunflower. We are going to pair that with a Swiss dot. And then I think I'm looking at these options. We can either go with a plaid or we can do, let me look at something else. It's weird, my Facebook page froze. So I'm not sure. Should we go with gingham or should we go with plaid? Or should we go with both? Because we could go with both for that. So I'm not really sure. Hi, Joan. She said storms are rolling through here in Maryland. Yeah, ours are coming in later today. It's already cloudy. So, so do you guys think we should do 3 ribbons or 4? This is what I have picked out. Should we go with these 3 or go with these 4? Should we go with 3 or should we just go with those 3? So 4, 3, gingham 3. I need your help. What should we do? This is the interactive part of the live tutorial where you guys come in and help me. I'm not quite sure what we should do. If we should do 3 or 4. Arvina says, storms in Virginia too. Wow. So that's kind of interesting. Why are there so many storms? Interesting. Well, I'm going to start with our sunflower. So all the ribbon, by the way, craft outlet, craft outlet, craft outlet, craft outlet. I think I'm going to do 4. Elizabeth said the last 3. So you're saying these 3? Because these are like a lake. Let's see. I've got some new designs planned for next week. Because my floral is slowly starting to come in. Joy said 4. Elizabeth says yes, the last 3. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start with our gingham. We'll see how big of a bow it gets. Joan says 3. But what 3, Joan? So, we are taking our wired edges, bring those together. I'm going to cut from the folded side down to that wired corner, that point down here. That's what gives you that dovetail edge. And I'm looking at this. Right over here. I would like it to kind of have the ability to kind of swirl. So I want it a little bit longer. Let's go up 1 sunflower. Because, like, I'm liking the whole, like, where you can get them to swirl a little. But I feel like that's a little too big. Go in. Like, I want it to come 1 more. Decisions. Okay. Like, I think I'll go that way because that's about the length I want to see it drop down to. So what is that? That is 16 inches. So we're going to go 16 inches in. And I don't want to get really crazy with the width of the ribbon. So I think I'm going to keep it at 5 inches. So let's set these ones aside. And I'm going to line this up on the 10-inch line. Wow, that's way big. Okay, let's go. I'm trying to think in my head. 5, 4.5, 4, 3.5. I think that might look good. Shell says, you like the blue and the yellow? French Country Palettes is blue and yellow, which has always been a love of mine. I love that for summer decor. So we're doing 5-inch loops with a 16-inch tail so I can get that thing to really swag. Really swag. Dovetail end again. These are painted on ribbon. Okay, first one's down with that It's sunflowers on gingham, which is always really pretty. Well, let me go ahead and pop the blue in, because I'm trying to see, like, that looks good. I like it sandwiched like that. I'm going to do 4. So this was 16 inches. So let's take this one to 13. Let's see what 13 looks like with those tails. I like that. I think that'll work. Because these are going to mostly hang off the side lower bottom. So we're going to go 4.5 inches for the loop length, which is right about there. Flipping that over. So if you're just starting out with florals, you can add your ribbon first. You can, add your bow, or you can green your base and then decide if you're going to add a bow. So there's a lot of people that may not have mastered their bows, so they are not really inclined to want to put a bow on that wreath. In that case, add your sign. Do you feel like a sign would be appropriate? Then if you're going to do a sign on that, put your sign on first, green your base, so you can kind of figure out where your greenery is going to stop. Joy says, I love royal blue. Ooh, wait till you see these peonies. I've had these peonies forever because I was like, what are they going to go with? Same thing. I have like gladiolas in it's a different color blue. It's a weird blue. So we did 14. I'm going to go 12. And then our last one's just going to be a 10. So those are some nice ribbon lengths to play with. So this one's going to be 4 inches for our loop length. So we're just going to stretch that out. Verify the lengths. And as you can tell, I'm not really using very much ribbon at all. And then this one's going out 12 inches. And then our last one, that plaid, will be 10 inches. And it'll be 3.5 inch loops. So there's that. Okay. And now the gingham. A true royal blue gingham. Because when you order these, sometimes they're not the royal blue. They're like the light blue or the dark blue. But the royal blue is really hard to find. I think it sells out really quick. So we're doing 10 inches. And then we're going to do 3.5 inch loops. And we'll even put the center one in. Because I have so many people go, how come you don't put the center loop in? Well, not all bows need to have a center loop. But we can definitely put one in today. 3.5. And then I'm just going to go in and add a simple little loop to the center. Whoop. Trying to get that one in. Trying to make sure it's like the right size length. And then I'm going to go all the way back out. 10 inches. Yes, I know that the tails up here, that they're going to be on the same side. They will not be when we fluff them. It's just for bow construction. Okay, let us... Do we have a royal blue color out here? Yes, we do. Okay, royal blue pipe cleaner. Just like this. So I'm just picking this up because this is bow construction. I am going to drop this down right in the center. We're going to fluff on the grapevine. So I just hold the bottom and twist the stack. And they're going to be a little long because we have really long tails. Okay. Bringing this back. This is another reason why cleaning out our grapevine is so helpful because when we go to feed, this one's actually a really thick grapevine. It's made up of a lot. So sometimes you might have problems because there's so much in here. I usually just figure out where I'm going to push it and just slightly twist my knife and then follow that. Oops. All the way down. So come out the other side, because this side has no problem going all the way through. Butter knife. Okay, bring that one in. Nice and snug. And give it some love. We're going to be bringing tails down. Of course, if you don't want to bring your tails down, you don't have to bring your tails down. I'm just going to pull this one. I'll pull this one to the other side. I like doing the one on the bottom instead. So let's get all those tails where they need to be. Down here. Down, down, down. So then these can do their own thing at the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to open up these. We'll do a little crisscross here. A little crisscross the opposite way. We will open our sunflower patterns. I think I'm going to bring this one up. So we have their sunflower kind of going out to the side. And then I'll bring this one up a little bit higher. Everything down to the bottom. Okay. There we go. So we can see all the colors. And that'll be there. So this is our bow on our grapevine. And then these are all gonna, we'll do this one that's on the door. You can either pull these down and let them kind of swoop into little curls. Or what I like to do is do a little bit longer curl like this and get them to kind of curl. So just roll them up. Roll them up, grab the inside, and gently pull. And then we have that nice little curly Q. This one can do the same thing. Just nice little curly Qs. Just like so. Okay, so that is our bow on the wreath. So I am going to put in my major florals, and then I'm going to come in and backfill a little bit with our greenery. So major florals are sunflowers and peonies. See how I'm saying they're like royal blue with little yellow centers? So do they not just feel like they're a couple? So I'm going to show you how the sunflowers came. These are gorgeous single sunflowers. Came from Amazon. They have 2 leaves each. They do have a very long, very thick stem. But you get them this way. So they come with a singular head, and they come with the bottom. So the top of your head has a little, it just goes right inside here. But they're so loose that they fall off. So I load them with glue, and then I go ahead and I squish my sunflowers in so they are not going to come out. But they look really great because I'm not having to worry about everything else being all squished in with them. So we're going to do and to go. And of course they won't come out. Wow. See? My Facebook feed is being weird. It keeps kicking me out. So I want this one to kind of sit in. I think I'm going to pull him down a little bit further, so we don't have to run such a huge greenery piece in there. So I think I want this one just kind of situated like that. So I want some air movement around it. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I snip off the ends that are getting hung up going in. So those are where. Okay, let's get you in all the way home, just like so. Then we can come back and we can add the leaves where I want them to be. Like the leaves can kind of go off to the side here and right underneath if I want. The greenery will be something that I choose to come back at. So I think I want, I'm going to do the same thing here. So there and there. Let me hold those. I have one more. We'll just snip those off. Snip the bottom pieces that get hung up, because you don't need a big, long, huge stem. Right, Cheryl? Don't they make you happy? Okay. So I'm going to bring this one in. Oops. Right underneath. So I'm going to kind of have this one leaning in a little bit. This is to the out. That's to the inside. So I am going to use a third or fourth. So just filling up that well with my glue gun and plopping that head of my sunflower there. Do the same thing. Okay. And I think we'll bring this one out up here. I don't want to go quite that far down. There is an awful big hole there. Like there's nothing there. So I'm going to go with a bigger bite of glue and bring that where I'm just pushing that greenery pick down so it's a little bit more settled in there. So this is what you're seeing right now. Kind of like a little bit of everything. Okay, let's bring in our peonies. So these are our focal flowers. So recipe for greenery or for a grapevine, 2 to 3 kinds of greenery. If you can vary the texture and colors, it's great. It gives your wreath more dimension. 1 or 2 focal flowers. 2, maybe 2 or 3 medium-sized flower, and then your filler would be like the perfect recipe for getting all that in. I'm going to look at this one here first. I wanted this one. I'm just playing with, hey, where can you go? I don't want it to impact. This can go up a little bit. So we're going to put this one here. Larger stem. Okay. Give it some airiness to it. I'm going to bring, trying to get the wired part of the stem where it will allow me to move it. And let's see, where is that? I want to give it some extra oomph in the glue. Once you glue these in, man, let me tell you, they stay. Because I've done several deconstructions, and didn't even put that one in. They don't like to come out. I totally forgot I did not put that in all the way. Okay. Kind of have little willy-nilly right there. And we're going to bring 2 of those up in here. Let's see. We have 2 shorties. So I'm definitely going to bring one out to the side. We're going to have this one, I think. We've got some wild leaves in there, but I like that look. And then we're going to come up here and add another peony. So that will be the way the peonies are laid out. So I'm just putting my finger there so I don't forget. Hey, where was I going to put that? Go ahead and push. And then I'm just moving the leaves just under the sunflower. Just make sure you move your finger before you bring that in. Okay, so I'm going to take these. We're going to hold these to the end because we can bring those in. These are all the sunflower leaves. Because, I mean, we need them, right? You can't have sunflowers in here. We have the giant peonies leaves. Matter of fact, let's just add some of these now. So I'm going to do them with a pick, with the pick machine, because there's not much for me to glue. So if I put these on a pick machine, then I can give myself a little bit longer length to add to my sunflowers. So, can you guys see the pick machine? I don't think so. Let's move this over. So the pick machine just gives you length of stem. Oop, I already had one in there. So it just grabs on with a razor sharp. That's how I found out they're razor sharp. I actually knew that ahead of time, but wasn't paying attention when I was gluing them in. And I had to pull one out. That's how I know they stay in there really good with the glue. Hi, Trisha. We hope so, Cheryl. Cheryl says, this one's going to sell right away. I'm like, well, we always hope, but we never know. So I'm just adding leaves up underneath my sunflowers. So just giving them the extra added look. Because remember, I pulled these off of the original stem because they were so far down the stem. They would look good if you were putting them in a vase, you know, to do a floral arrangement there. But for here, not so much. Tuck that one under, making sure all of our glue is out of the way. Perfect. Okay, so I've got my peonies in, even though I have 4 extra leaves. These will go in my greenery. I have a greenery bucket that's just scraps of greenery. So sometimes I'm like looking for just a pick in a different color, and all I need is 1 or 2 pieces, and man, that has saved me so many times with what I want to do. Okay, so now those are our focal flowers. Focal flowers are in. This is what it looks like to you all. Okay, we're going to come in and we're going to lighten this up a little bit before we add our fillers. So, couple different options. We are taking, let me find these, a little bit of an ivory ranunculus. They kind of have like a greenish yellow center. We're going to be adding those. These are our mediums. I have some navy blue cornflowers. We have some baby sunflowers. And we have, oops, I should just grab the little piece. We have dogwood. So those are all going to go in just to give texture, dimension. Ooh, and you know what? Now that I'm thinking, I have one greenery pick. These might work. I haven't been able to use these, but let me look. I'm just going to cut one off. Oh, I like these. I will look these up and tell you what they are. I don't know. They're kind of like green little pom-pom flowers. So we'll be adding some of those. But let's go in and add in our ranunculus first. So I'm going to kind of bring this one in down underneath here, like so. And we'll grab one at the top. I'm going to try to make sure I do a better job of spinning this around than I normally do. So this is a ranunculus with a little bud. Let's bring that out. Binding wire. Just because I want to pull that little flower a little closer. I just don't want it becoming so wayward up in the air. There we go. It can stay with its mom. Okay. A couple more. Oop, I have one that's kind of hitchhiked along the other side there. We're going to put this one right in here. Again, movement. Sometimes we just kind of have to rearrange that. I'm just looking. I think I want to come in with blue there. Let's see, how many of these do I have? I thought I had 5. Maybe I only had 4. It's always good to check the floor and your trash when those are nearby. So let's put this down here at the bottom. I like to keep them fairly even. And those are from Hobby Lobby. Don't go to Hobby Lobby until potentially after Saturday, because right now Floral is still not currently on sale. So wait till you can get like a really good deal. Okay, we're going to bring in some of our cornflowers. And I'm just going to bring these in. Whoop. There we go. Just lifting ever so slightly. I like to see some of my florals like blow in the wind. We will add one up here. Probably should have cut that pick down. I was hoping that since this side was a little more open, that if I, it would be easier for me just to plop that in. Okay. Let's get you to go up and under. Okay. Couple more. We're going to bring some in underneath here. Let's take this stem down. Bring this one in over here. Kind of filling. Okay. Gonna bring one in. Let's push up its greenery a bit. Kind of tuck it in here, right next to this ranunculus, but up. There we go. Nice lift there. I need 2 more to the top because I have a 1, 2, 3. I have one here. I think we'll bring definitely one to the outside over here. Just like so, and we'll bring one. Oh, I only have one singular one left. Might have to use it just so it's not completely by itself. Let's tuck this in under here. There we go. And grab that. And now, since I only have the one, there's no sense in just leaving it sit in a bucket all by its lonesome. Let's bring it right in here. Okay. Glue, 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 glue. What do you think so far? Just like so. This is where we're at. Right there. Let's get all these picked up. All the extra glue can get tossed back in the container. Let's bring in some of the little baby sunflowers so we can have a little pop a little bit closer. These are from Hobby Lobby, so they're great. Let's see, do I want to bring both leaves up? So you can only go so high, and because they pop off the first time, I don't let them pop off a second time without it becoming a little bit more permanent. So let's see. Let's try them on and see what we think. So I'm just going to lift our peonies. And sometimes we just have to, I'm looking at how it's laying. So I want to make sure it's laying in the right direction. Let's see. Those are pretty, but they're so angled to the outside nobody sees them. But let's do one. We'll do one here to the outside. And then we'll bring some on the inside. Alrighty. Definitely going to be bringing these in down here. Aw, thanks, Cheryl. Hi, Mila. From what part of California? It says, I don't know about you, but your voice is breaking up. It's weird. I'm seeing, like, Facebook just keeps kicking me out and kicking me out, but I'm not seeing anything going wrong on the YouTube side of thing. So that could be good. Same thing. Just redirect as you feel the need. I'm going to go ahead and pull some of this greenery out. And let's look at this. I'm thinking like this right in here. Like, I love that. Okay, we're going to put that there. Just because I like oddball things. I really wish I would have had, I had these pom-pom. They're like this, but they're more floral. Let's see. And I might pull pull some of these off and make a smaller stem. So we can kind of bring, we're going to put the green here. Hold on. Sometimes, I don't know why I do this, sometimes I leave the stem so long that by the time I get it in to where I want it to go, it's too long. And then you saw when I'm trying to pull this out, I pull the stems out. So I don't want to do that. So let's try to get the leaves to be on the right sides. And we're going to get that to come right in there. I think we'll put another green right in here. Kat, do you have another green? Oh, yes, I do. And these are from White Bayou, you guys. So I'm just pushing up the greenery. I don't want them up too high, but I don't want them too low either. So, dropping this down right inside. Nice little super soft ball. What do you think? We'll do the same on this one. Push everything up. Let's see, we already have. I was like, should we put another sunflower in? I'm like, no. No. We'll tuck that in. Because sometimes you just need something from a texture perspective that is like, I'm looking for something that is like a big ball that can fill an empty space. And then you find that. Okay. I didn't want to pull that one off, but since I did, I may as well. It's the one that had the price tag on it. And we're going to bring this one up right in here. We're going to push this out of the way. And I'm going to push just a little bit more just to fill. So we still have an openness there. It's not completely compacted down to the wreath base. It's just a light little fill. And I need one more of our sunflowers. Let's take this one. And then that one will go to the wayside. And I'm going to bring this one in right inside here. And go ahead and pull those all out. Okay. Did we do all that things? Yes. Okay. Fillers. I had the dogwood too. Let me add a couple pieces of that because I have a couple that I already cut off the stem. So let's add these, and these will elongate out the direction that I want them to go. So I'm going to cut that back, kind of let this one feather outward, just like so. Here's all my glue. Drives me crazy. Let's get all this picked up and just throw it back in the glue skillet. It'll remelt down. Perfect recycling. Do the same over here. Toss that back inside. Okay. Let's do the same here. Oops. Okay, where did you come from? I found you. Okay. So that is your directions for putting together a any type of floral. 2 to 3 focal flowers, your main big flowers. Find 2 or 3 of the filler, or not filler, medium. We went ranunculus, cornflower, and the dogwood. I guess we could have done little green pom-pom things as well as one, but I kind of see that as greenery. Now we're going to do our filler at this point, which is little baby's breath. Okay. So Hobby Lobby for these. I love them because they're push-up picks, meaning you can push them all the way up to the top to get a very full look, but it just will complete whatever look you're looking for. It has like the Boxwood greenery, but little bits of the baby's breath on them. Amazon also sells a really nice baby's breath. I've been really impressed by their florals lately, and they come a lot quicker, especially when I want just a handful of things, like, hey, I need something here really quick. So I'm going to come in under here and get that to kind of fall right in line. As soon as we can spread everything out, we do need to have like a feathered look here. So I'm looking into what can we put just to finish out, because the edge right now goes end. I like them to feather a bit. Okay, and with my fillers. Same thing. Push everything up for a more full pick. I'm leaving my stems about 2 to 3 inches so that it's enough for me to get them in to glue into the base. So we've added one here, 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and take this over to the bottom. We've added 1. Okay, I think I'm going to bring some ender right in here, just underneath my sunflower and right next to my peonies. Just for a little bit something different. Let's see. Let me look over here. I like that look. So I'm going to bring this in next to my sunflower. I'm trying to find the main stem and push from that point of view. I just popped my head of my cornflower off. So you know what that means. We glue them back on so that they don't come off again. And remove all our glue. Helps if you actually put it on the stem, Kat. One more. I think we're going to do this one right in here. Let me look. Sometimes I just tuck them under. That works. I tuck them underneath the grapevine if I don't want them to go in and then fight to pull them out. So I'll just like lay them underneath and go, does that look good? And if it does, then we're good to go there. Okay. There's that. Aw, thanks, Cheryl. Right? Honeysuckle would be pretty. Oh, you live in Irvine. I know right where that's at. My mom lives in Laguna Niguel. And I used to work in Irvine way back when. So now I'm going to take these little boxwood pieces that I've put picks on, and I'm going to kind of tuck these underneath so that right now they're like, you can buy these at Hobby Lobby. It's like a cascading vine. And I'm putting these little pieces because that's exactly what I want it to do. I want it to cascade down over the side of my grapevine. Just like that. So we have a lot of pretty greenery. Let's see. We'll add, I'm thinking, nope, that's too big. Definitely right in there. So I'm just poking these in the side. So then these will cascade over the edge, which are really pretty. And they'll move in the wind. Put another one over here. This way, when you're looking at the side of your grapevine, hopefully you're not seeing grapevine in there. You're seeing something. There's filler in there. And I'm going to do the same right here by our bow. So I'm just going to pick up all the bow tails. And make sure I've got some greenery tucked in. Okay. Let's see, do I want anything here? Ooh, I really like that. See, look, nothing there. So I'm looking right in this general area. It's kind of plain. And so sometimes what I'll do is just kind of tuck that in and say, what do I think? And for me, it's like the perfect filler between those two. And I like the fact that it hangs down a little bit to kind of create a nice little cascade look, but a filler. Last piece. Let's see. I think I might want this one. Yes. I'm going to put this one right here on the edge. So remember I was talking about we needed something to kind of feather that edge all the way down. So that's where we're at. So I did some filler greenery with the boxwood. And then if you want, you could come in with like a Queen Anne's lace and pop in. You can leave it whole, or you can leave it like a little bunch. And if you wanted to, like I'm going to show you what you could do here. You just pop this into your grapevine somewhere. And then just kind of, oops. Sometimes you have to move the leaves. Just see how that looks around your peonies. Like, do you like that little pop of white there? If you like it, you can leave it. If you don't like it, you can take it out. Again, Queen Anne's lace is from Hobby Lobby. So, and yes, I will make that one fit. If I don't want the leaves on it, because there might already be too much greenery going on, you can kind of come in and just maneuver some of your floral around so that you get a little bit of filler there. See, I just took the leaves off because I don't want to deal with the leaves anymore. And I'm going to come back with the glue gun and just fill those in. So, pulling the leaves off. Gonna kind of come in here where there's no white, it's just all blue. And I want to make sure that I can get some around both sides of my peonies. I've got 2 pieces left. So let's remove the greenery. I feel like we need, this is the other thing, bring it in from the underside, because they split in the center. So technically if I push this one all the way in, I'm just going right underneath the grapevine for looks. And seeing, is that where I wanted to place it, or do I want to bring it in up here? Sometimes it's not anything that I like the look of, so I might just not put them in. Let me show you another baby's breath that Amazon started carrying, which are my favorite baby's breath. And they come in picks like this. So this would be my substitute for Queen Anne's lace, because you get 1, 2, 3 picks, and they feel amazing. And everything is individually wired. So if I come in here like this, I can easily take this and tuck this inside, and then I've got that elongated piece that I can make last, and I can spread out a little bit further than I could Queen Anne's lace. So again, Hobby Lobby, or not Hobby Lobby, Amazon. Just pull. So you see you've got a long, a medium, and a short. So wherever you want to add just a little bit of white too, we can just tuck those in. And like I said, just move the leaves around. I'm going to put the Queen Anne's lace back so I can keep playing with the little baby's breath pieces. This we'll tuck in over there. We'll finish these up. I'll put the links to the baby's breath florals and the peonies. And the peonies come in every single color that you could possibly want. And I like that right there. So I'm just going to move the leaves and make sure it doesn't impact that. So adding little pops. And then these make great stems. So because we don't need them that long, and you guys always ask me, where do you get your stems? Right here. I just cut off what I don't need. And then if I need a stem for a pick, or I need a stem for paper rose flower, I can definitely, I can use those. So I like that I can bring these in 3 different looks: a small, a medium, or a long, short, and small. Cut that off. Here's your pick. Toss the little ends away. Let's see. We've got a lot of Queen Anne's lace here. Let's see what ends up happening if we, kind of tuck that in. I like that. And what if we did the same here? That'll work. We'll add those 2 and we'll be done. So these were my feathered edged. Oops. Just like that. And then we will fluff up our bow. We will put it on the door, make any last minute changes that we need to make. I think I'm good. So let me pivot you up. Boop. So those little baby's breath, that's what I actually came in and I added all through my swag that we did on Tuesday, because it just felt like so much orange, and I wanted to break up the complexities of the orange with a little bit of the baby's breath. So that's exactly what worked. And because I can pull them apart in little segments, I can put them where I want. Okay, I'm going to set this here. Let's put this on the door. Let's fix our bow. Okay, I was like trying to think. You can do it a couple different ways. You can swag it more one way. That's the beauty about grapevines is, you know, you can decide where you want to see everything fall. And I'm just moving my glue threads just like this, and now we'll fluff our bow. So, okay. Up, up, up. Get this one. Because Lord knows we put that bow in first. We have not given it any love since it's been there. Pull this one down because I want my blue up a little higher. And then we will just give it some love. And then we can either leave this long or you can roll them up. Remember? Let's see, here's our other one. It is way over here. There's the bigger. Oop, there's a deer outside. I was like, I heard somebody cough. Did not sound like a human cough. More like a hack. And again, you can do the same thing with your sunflower. You can just bring it down for whatever look you want. I like sometimes just running them through your fingers so that they kind of curl slightly. And you can even make them to where, I'm trying to find the center. I don't like to see the backs of my ribbons. So I'm just gonna swag. I'm just gonna spin that just slightly. So, spiral curl these ones. So just like that. Bring that around. And I'm gonna pull up my sunflower because it's on that stem. Hi! I wish you guys could see. There's a deer 10 feet from me. It's sticking its head in the door. It's like, hey, we need food out here. Hi! It's a little buck. I don't know what his name is. We haven't named him because he hasn't been the very healthiest buck. We didn't think he would make it, but here he still is. Are you hungry? All right. One of these days, I've had it happen. One, let me feed it from the bucket so I could hold the bucket. And I was so close to reaching out and touching it. And I was like, no, I don't want it to have a love of humans. Because deer hunting season will be here before I know it. And I don't want them to be all in with the hunters. So let me zoom in for you guys. What I will do is I'll take a picture and then I'll post it to the page and show you where the deer's been. Hi. So what do you guys think? Hobby Lobby. Cheryl? Hobby Lobby is the winner chicken dinner for me. So that is our sunflower to fall grapevine. Now remember, you guys, I was like, should we add a sign? Should we not add a sign? Some people are saying there's an overwhelming number of people who like signs on their wreaths. And then there's ones who don't. So any and all of my wreaths, you can remove the signs. You don't have to leave them on. So this is the sign that I was thinking for this one. And this would just tuck in like right there. So it's just a nice little welcome with sunflowers, ranunculus. It has some blueberries and some stuff on it, but it's super cute for people who want a sign on their wreath. So you have that option. The grapevines in your area are really thin. We've been seeing them kind of come in, and they've been really good. I haven't personally gone. My husband's been the one to pick them up. So there's that. But I hope you guys like the tutorial. Hope you'll be back next week to see what we're doing. We're just about finished with summer/fall. So we're going to start moving into some fall wreaths. We're heading into the end of June, 3 months out, July, August, September. So if we're in July, August, September, October, we have fall/Halloween. So, okay. Right, Cheryl, you can always sell it with the sign and then they can remove it. Exactly. So I will be listing this with the variation of the sign, or you can opt no sign. And then we can add them, and it's really super simple. I make it super simple for them. I don't really hide the pipe cleaner or the floral wire, but I make it to where they can take it off. And then they can switch it to whatever they want. It could just say home sweet home, or hello, or let's see, do we have something else? I'm like looking at a handful of signs that, like I'm looking to see, would any of these even work? You could kind of do that too. Look at that one. There's that one. This one just says, welcome to our home. A little bit bigger, so we can even do that option as well. It's still staying in the blue palette. So this is from Personalize It by Pam. You could do, you can literally put any sign you want in there. Like, welcome, hello, welcome to our home. This one's a little too big, but I thought I'd give it a go. Let's see what this one does. See if we can put, you can do something like this. It's a good day to have a good day. So since like I have you guys on here, which one do you prefer? This one? This one? Or this one? This little like square, large circle, or small circle? You like the blue sign? Georgiana, you like this one? Welcome to our home. Yes, you could totally go with that look. Trying to get it to sit so I could step away. It's not going to let me because it'll just fall off. Yeah, I'd have to get attached. Or that. It's a good day to have a good day. You could do that too. So what I'm saying is, don't think that you have to design something around a sign. You don't. A lot of times I do my floral wreaths, and then later I come back in and I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder if that sign would look good with that floral. And sure enough, it just really pops. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Right, Joan, great options. Always. So I always have something that can go. Something that's like every day. Those are always really great signs to have. And then a lot of welcome, a lot of home sweet home, a lot of welcome to our home, welcome to our house, welcome friends. So thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you guys next week.